Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the weekly recap from We Are Soccer. Lots to get to. The final day of the EPL. Villa shit the bed, lose 2-0 at Man United. That's the big news today, and all the fun disappeared with that match. Newcastle lose to Everton, but escape dropping out of the top 5 because of Villa's loss to Man United. Napoli are your Serie A champions for the year, and former Manchester United player Scott McTominay is your Serie A player of the year. Very much well deserved. Well done, Scott McTominay. U.S. men's national team June camp is in full effect here. We're talking about the roster for their games that are coming up for the Gold Cup and some friendlies. We're going to discuss that. We got a couple of other news and rumors and things to get to. Lots of fun as we jump in. Let's go.
What? And I'm going to give you one opportunity because we're friends.
Winner! Who gives a shit about where the ball's been?
Yeah, F him. They went from loving this guy, best move ever, to hating him.
I think it's the most ridiculous thing in the world.
I love it because it tells you how the game was played.
There's nowhere for him to go. I think there's one place.
You can't do that in the national team. Do I look like I'm freaking kidding?
He does things that are absolutely insane.
Successful and sexy? No. It wasn't aggravating at times? Yes.
Sorry,
That's not very fair.
It's not about being fair.
Welcome to the greatest soccer show ever.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully your final EPL Sunday here was more enjoyable than mine. As I watched my Aston Villa crash out 2-0 at Manchester United. Essentially securing a sixth place spot in the table there, which means Europa League football is coming to Villa Park next year. Not Champions League football, which is what we had hoped for. Lots to get to with that game. Red cards, goals that were disallowed that should have stood, other things. We'll talk about it. A couple of other games that happened, as you saw. Newcastle lose to Everton at home. Newcastle lost to Everton 1-0, but they escape dropping out of the top 5 because of Villa, as we said. Manchester City beat Fulham 2-0. They secure their top 5 position. So officially into the Champions League next year is Liverpool, who were your title winners. Congratulations with their 20th official title there. Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City, Chelsea, Newcastle. There are your top 5. Congratulations to those. Long season. Very well done to those folks. We're going to talk about those games. We're going to talk about the top 5. We're going to talk about what it means. We're going to talk about the Europa League final that happened this past week as Man United crashed out of that 1-0 to Tottenham. We're going to talk about the U.S. men's national team roster, the June camp roster. They've got some friendlies coming up against Switzerland and Turkey. Then they're jumping into the Gold Cup a couple of days later. We got a lot to get to, guys. Do me a favor. In the comments, throw your comments in there. Throw your questions in there. We'll read them off if they're good enough. Of course, our man Brooks is on the task. He's reading them. He's responding. Hi, Brooks. How are you?
Got one already.
Got one already?
Yeah, from Mr. Michael Tyson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All
Are
right.
you really starting off the show talking about Villa, dude? Get your priorities straight.
What would you like me to talk about? Liverpool, who won the title 4 weeks ago. Old news, old hat. No one cares. The double guard of honor. We'll talk about that. That was kind of actually cool right there. But the big news around the world for EPL was who would finish into those the last 2 spots of the top 5. So Villa were the ones who kind of cemented the spots there, and Nottingham Forest not able to do the job over Chelsea. We got a lot of other things to get to as well. Before we jump in, I do want to say a big thank you to our partners as always. Big thank you to Soccer World, soccerworld.net for all of your soccer gear needs. Hey, tryouts are coming up. Get your kid right. Get him looking good. Head over on to Soccer World, 3 locations here in Detroit. Speaking of tryouts, the Michigan Jaguars FC. Tryouts are happening in the next couple of weeks for them. If you're looking for a fun, family-oriented, great club, check out MichiganJaguarsFC.com for more times for the tryouts for your youth players. Big thank you to the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood, keeping us sharp, keeping all the players around Metro Detroit sharp and healthy as well. The football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood, very much appreciate his support for We Are Soccer. And last but not least, Next Level Training, the best trainers in the country reside right here in Metro Detroit at Next Level Training. Well, let's jump in. Let's get going. Nate, how are you? How was the weekend? You look a little sunburned, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was outside.
Yeah.
Yard work?
Nah.
Grilling?
Nah.
Kids soccer?
Nah. I'm gonna be a man of mystery.
Sunbathing nude again?
Damn. It's not that mysterious.
Wait. I know. You were lifting in the front yard.
No, I don't do that. It's weird.
Yeah, he don't lift weights. That's weird.
Oh.
I thought that was natural. Lots to get to. You're wearing Stuttgart. We'll get to it in a little bit.
Only team that matters.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about their Pokal.
The only
Cup win.
cup that mattered.
Agreed. I agree with you, sir. I agree. The only title that mattered this
The only
year.
seed in Europa, Villa.
Yeah, maybe. Oh God, I don't want to talk about it.
Are we going down there when they draw each other and have to actually play?
If they have to play each other, absolutely, let's do it.
Hell yeah.
I mean, how awesome! We talked about it last year. With
You did.
making the
Didn't
Champions
happen.
League. Didn't happen.
Yeah, but we could have a second chance. Go around at this.
We got a second chance.
We got a second
The
chance.
stars are lining up for my friends.
First, you don't succeed. You
Drop
Joe-
into the next
don't go to the Champions League. You do it again.
in the lower league, lower Europa. We'll get to it. Brooks, how are you? Busy weekend for you, right?
Yeah. A lot of work around the house and whatnot and watching some soccer. College lacrosse, it's the Final Four, then the final on Monday. So there you go.
You were going so well until like the last minute.
You just ruined it.
Like
You ruined it. No one
you
cares.
just stopped. You could have just stopped it and I watched some soccer and just stopped.
And I just can't.
Look at your screen, Brooks. It's called We Are Soccer.
Yeah.
Soccer, not lacrosse. We don't need to talk about the lacrosse with the sticks and the hitting and the
Aw.
whatever they do.
The sticks and the hitting.
The sticks. That's all I know.
You know, the sticks, the hitting, and the game with the net, the balls, and the
rolling on the ground,
rolling, and the hockey,
small ball.
ice.
Yeah.
Play with. Anyway, all right, let's jump in. All right, we're not going to spend too much time on it, but obviously for me, the big news was Aston Villa losing 2-0. The pessimist that I am.
With everything else that went on today, that's the big news for you. It's like,
I texted him. He's really depressed still.
For me. But here's the thing, Nate. The relegation spots had already been decided weeks and weeks ago. We already know who's been relegated. We already know who won the title. Congratulations, Liverpool. You won it 4 weeks ago. You won it on match day 34. There's no need to talk about that. We knew Arsenal were finishing second. The big story around the world and what everybody was selling was
Napoli's win.
Yeah.
We're getting to that. But the big story about the Premier League was who's going to finish in those last 2 spots for the Champions League, right? So officially there are now 6 teams, by the way, who will be competing in the Champions League from the English Premier League, which is very nice. Villa lose 2-0 at Man United. A bunch of stuff happened in that game. Obviously, Matt Cash plays the ball short back to Emi Martinez, but Rasmus Højlund runs onto it. What happens there? Emi Martinez comes out and does a bonehead play. I don't understand why he did that. I mean, if you go down 1-0, Aston Villa's been down 1-0, been down to teams this year, and have come back and tied or won games. Why the bonehead play? I do not know. Bad pass by Matty Cash. Left his goalkeeper short in the moment. Brain fart. I mean, Emi Martinez, there was no need for that. Anyway.
He just, he was done. He's ready to go to the Saudi League or wherever he's going.
Yeah.
He wanted to get there early.
Possibly.
Figured this way he could just start cleaning out the locker.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe that's what it was. But
Smart move.
yeah, okay. Put us down, man. We go into the break 0-0. Then coming out of the break, Villa adjusted slightly, but you could see, okay, we're going to sit back. We're going to break out and see what we can do here. Later on in the game, ball goes over the top. Morgan Rogers runs onto a bad flick. Back pass. There was a bunch of bad back passes, by the way, in defenders in this game. Maguire tries to flick it back to his goalkeeper. Binder comes out.
Oh, Anana didn't play.
No, Anana didn't play. Binder
Oh.
comes out, and I have no idea. I've never seen a goalie come out and slide on his knees and try to, like, grasp a ball like this and touch the ball and then take his hands away. It made no sense what he was doing.
It's
Morgan-
a Turkish thing.
It was a Turkish thing?
It's a Turkish thing.
Yeah. I mean, hey, Turkish goalkeepers are a little odd, I guess.
It's cultural. You don't understand.
It's not how I would like my goalkeeper to be playing. Unfortunately for him, the ball was touched away and fell right by Morgan Rogers and fell right to Morgan Rogers' foot, and he put the ball in the back of the net. But before the ball went in the net, the referee, who was probably 20 to 30 yards away, blew the whistle for a foul because he thought Morgan Rogers kicked the ball out of the goalkeeper's hands.
Which he clearly did
Not.
Clearly
Did not.
did.
So, unfortunately, because he blew the whistle before the ball went into the net, the play was called dead. You can't look at it for VAR. There was no reason for VAR because, again, he blew the whistle. Clearly, though, when you see replays, bad mistake by the referee. Terrible mistake. Villa should have been up 1-0, a man down. It is what it is. That's not how it went. You know, the rub of the green didn't go for the Villa today. They didn't come out and play well. Here's why I'm really pissed, Brooks. Pissed, depressed, whatever you want to call it.
Because Rashford didn't play.
No, he was never going to be able to play. He's also injured. I'm a little pissed because Asensio played. Villa had 9 days to prepare for this game. They came out flat. I didn't agree with the lineup. I don't like Ian Maddison playing in this game over Lucas Digne. I thought Tielemans, if he was healthy enough to play 30 minutes, he probably could have played, the first 60 minutes or so. So I didn't like that. I thought the Villa just lacked aggressiveness. They were willing to let Manchester United have the ball and come at them. Villa were lucky not to be down 2-0 before Martinez got sent off. They hit the post 2 or 3 times, Man United did today. There was a couple cleared off the line. Villa just didn't come out, and that's why I'm mad, because we had an opportunity in a really big game, and we didn't take it. That's on us.
25 total shots, 10 on net.
Yeah.
XG of 2.95.
Yeah. That's on Villa. That's on Unai Emery. I think trying to get the team to play too passively. Now, listen, Villa does this. They play passive in the first half of games, and what looks like they're holding on. And in the second half, they change their play. They adjust in halftime. And in the second half, they really come out and go at it, and that's when they win games. Villa win games in the second half of the game. That's their thing. Their second half team. It is what Unai Emery does. But my word, you just played a team who suffered a big loss 4 days ago in the Europa Cup final, and they are tired. You've had 9 days to rest and prepare. This is the season comes down to one game, and that's how you come out. That's why I'm upset about this. I could care less who it was we were playing, where we were playing. It's how they showed up, and I wasn't happy with Villa's performance based on all of that.
Well, you did say a few weeks ago that they'll always don't show up against Man United, or they nick you.
Yeah, every time. Every single time. Yeah. I heard a stats, and I don't know. I haven't had a chance to look it up, but apparently Villa haven't won on the last day of the season away from home since 2001.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you also know, Brooks, as we call
Does that include Championship and Premier League?
No, just Premier League. Just Premier League.
Okay, because they were in the Championship.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
For a
Yes,
while.
yes. I thought you said Champions League. Championship. Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another interesting stat. You know the so-called Big Six, right?
Yes.
Right. They have.
Why is there quotes when you say so-called Big Six?
Well, what would you call the Big Six?
The Big Six.
Why are they the Big Six?
It's like the Big
Because
Ten.
they have a
They're
lot
dubbed-
of money.
No, it has nothing to do with
Won
money.
most of the trophies.
We call it the Sky. Sky has dubbed them the Big Six. So everybody.
Why is it Sky?
Sky Sports.
Yeah, but why is it? It's Sky.
Sky
There's no.
Sports
This is
Quotations.
insinuating that Sky Sports is not Sky. It's Sky.
Sky Sports like to do articles and show clips of those 6 clubs.
I understand that, but why would you go like this for this?
Because actually,
Sky.
there's some clubs that are bigger than them.
No, I'm talking about for the Sky Sports now. I pivot.
I always do. It's Big Six.
What?
Anyway, you've got me off track. Do you know the so-called Big Six have never played each other on the final day of the season?
Dun dun dun!
Are we sensing?
Why is that? The Premiership started way back in the early '90s. Why have none of those teams played each other on
Wouldn't
the
you think you'd
final
want
day of
them?
the season?
Wouldn't you think you want them to play? Because
Wouldn't
most
you?
of them are fighting for positions at that point,
You
right?
think so?
Hmm.
You would think so. But if you're fighting for a position, who would you rather play? A big team or a team that you could possibly win and grab all 3 points?
Oh man.
Right. Anyway, just funny little stats and notes that I came across while talking to people in the last couple of days. Anyway, we'll move on. Newcastle do climb into the top 5. They remain in the top 5, I should say.
Great job for Eddie Howe.
Good job losing to Everton.
They lost to Everton at home, by the way.
Today?
On Tyneside.
Yes.
On
What I mean to
Tyneside.
dig him out further. They were like 10th. They were below Brighton at that.
Dig
at
'em
some
out.
point.
Further.
He has done a very good
Yeah.
job this year with them. Chelsea win 1-0 at Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest finished 7th. They are officially in the Europa Conference League next season. Real shame for that club, Nottingham Forest, as they were in 2nd and 3rd spot like almost the entire year. Just in the last 8 weeks here, just dropped like a stone.
Yeah, but you know what? The conference is going to be a better league for them than the Champions League.
Agreed.
Yeah,
They can win it.
you actually have a chance of actually winning it.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to win. Sorry, no offense to Nottingham Forest. You're not going to like overhaul and get a whole bunch of players for the Champions League. It's just not going to happen. So honestly, it's almost bittersweet. Kind of good on them, you know, in a weird way.
Agreed.
I'm trying to see when the last time they won a trophy.
When the last time Nottingham Forest won a trophy was?
Yeah, because like I mean that could be a trophy if they haven't won like 30 or
They
40
could.
years, you know.
Yeah, it's there was a graphic I posted in the We Are Soccer Facebook group earlier this week. The last time teams won a major trophy,
Yeah.
and it was like
It was 144 years for Fulham, and Brighton was like 123.
yeah. Villa
Yeah.
were 29 years ago officially, the 1994 Coca-Cola Cup. There was a couple of interesting ones. It was like 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, 29 years, 30 years, 50 years. But a lot of people don't know Nottingham Forest did win Champions League. Back then it was called the European Cup. They won it twice, 2 years in a row. So they were a dominant force back in Europe for a couple of years. So yeah, let's put up the table for the EPL just so you can see. That's how it officially rounds out and has finished. Congratulations again to Liverpool, who walk away 84 points, won the trophy this year, won the league. Do you know Jurgen Klopp finished with 94 and 97 points and ended up finishing second in those seasons?
Yeah.
Incredible. Incredible.
City did a lot better.
Yeah,
Just, yeah.
because there was a Manchester City and an Arsenal who were a lot better. But speaking of Arsenal, they finished second. Manchester City officially third. Chelsea fourth. Fifth, there is Newcastle. That's your top five, the Champions League. Villa go to Europa. Nottingham Forest to Europa Conference. Missing out, Brighton in 8th, and in 9th there, Bournemouth. Rounding out the top 10, Brentford. And as we've known for several weeks now, the bottom three getting relegated: Southampton, Ipswich Town, Leicester City. Tottenham finished 17th. Wolves 16th. Manchester United move up to 15th after their win today against Villa. 14th West Ham, 13th Everton, 12th Crystal Palace. All right, fellas, I'm going to ask you both a question. Looking at that table, what is the most surprising aspect of that table? What's the most surprising piece? Is it Man United finishing down? Is it Nottingham Forest finishing 7th? Is it the teams getting relegated? What's the one thing that sticks out to you on that table? I'll put it up again for you. Nate, what you got, buddy?
I mean, you're going to yell at me, but I'm going to throw them both. I think Tottenham and United finishing as low as they did, to me, is the most surprising thing
Agreed.
on that table. I didn't think either of them were really going to be in the top four.
Right.
But I didn't think they were going to be that far down the table.
Agreed.
Yep.
You know, and honestly, you know, Ange was, you know, spouting at the parade about how third seasons are always the best seasons in TV shows. I don't know if playing the Champions League is the best thing for them. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, like, okay, like, maybe it will be fine, but when you finish that low and bad and then have to go into a tournament like that with the, you're not going to be able to overhaul your squad like that much to be able to do it.
Agreed.
And even if you did a bit, like, it's going to take time. So I don't know if those extra games are really worth it. You know, like, it could be like a really bad thing, you know. Not to say they'll get relegated, not saying that, but
they're not going to finish high enough in the league next year.
Yeah, as far as starting down low in the league and maybe exiting things like the FA Cup and the, you know, and the Carling, where you could actually compete on the backs of playing in a you know, European competition that's now very long, very tough on travel as well.
Oh yeah.
You know, because it's not just home, and like these away games are all over the map. So
no, I agree with you.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's
well, we're gonna talk about that again in a couple of minutes, because I definitely want to delve into that. Brooks, looking at the table, what is the one thing that stands out to you from this season? And it seems it was just 8 months ago we were looking, going, all right, who's winning, who's getting relegated, and we had some right and some wrong, but now that the season has finished, Brooks, what's the one thing that sticks out to you looking at this table?
Biggest surprises for me. First, probably Everton finishing 13th. I mean, I think we didn't, some of us hadn't gotten relegated, some of us didn't. And we probably assumed, maybe that 16th, 17th, they'd be flirting with it the whole season. And my, oh my, I mean, I know Sean Dyche got canned, but, he got him out of the hole. And then, boy, did David Moyes just kind of push him up the table a little more,
He worked his magic there.
Yes.
His magic.
So I'd say that. And then I'd say Brighton in eighth place, to be honest with you. I thought maybe that 10 to 12 range they'd finish. They didn't have a good year after that last season with De Zerbi. I mean, they had Ansu Fati on loan and some other guys. It just didn't quite work out. They sell guys, they buy them. João Pedro is going to be on the market now this year. I see 70 million possibly for him, maybe more. That's what I've read. So they're going to have to, replace guys. But credit to the new German manager coming in and doing very well.
Yeah, no, credit to him for sure. All right, the one thing that sticks out to me in that table, and listen, I picked them to finish in the top 6 this year. Top 6, I thought it would be a little bit of a down year, but Manchester United at 15th, the club of that size, with some of the players they have in the books, I did not think they would finish 15th in this league. I mean, West Ham, Everton, Crystal Palace, Fulham, Brentford, Bournemouth, I wouldn't have picked any of those teams to finish ahead of Manchester United. So that is the one big thing for me that sticks out right there. I don't know if I'll have to go back and look. I think we did a top 7, boys, and I think I had Villa finishing 6. I think I picked that one correctly.
We need to write these down.
I know. We
just assume because we have them on video that it's going to work. Like, we need to write them down.
We do. All right, guys and girls out there, what is the one thing looking at the table that sticks out to you? Is it Brighton finishing 8th, as Brooks said? Is it Manchester United and Tottenham finishing so far down the table, as Nate and I have said? What's the one thing that sticks out to you? Is it Liverpool winning the title? I mean, I think majority of people said, it's probably going to be City or Arsenal. They're going to win this. With a new coach coming in, who would have saw that Liverpool would have walked away and won it by 10 points? So let us know in the comments what the biggest thing that stuck out to you this season, the biggest surprise that you had this season. I'd love to know as we get going here. And yes, we are going to talk about the Serie A and Napoli and Scott McTominay. And yes, we are going to talk US men's national team. And we're going to talk the Pokal. We're going to talk about a couple of things as we get going here. Stick around. We got a little bit to go.
Hi, Brooks. We're at our favorite store, Soccer World in Rochester. We're just going to do some light shopping. Okay. Nothing big. Ooh, pretty colors. Oh, and one of these too?
Ooh, Germany. Nate would like this.
Hey, Brooks, look at all these. Look what I got.
South America. Ooh, wow, that's not MLS. Cool.
Socks? No.
Ooh, a ball pump. Next in line.
Sir, you're next.
Right. That's a mannequin, you know that.
Huh?
It's a mannequin.
Oh. Sorry, sir.
Craig, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Huh?
All right, thanks for sticking around, everybody. As you saw there, soccerworld.net, one of our good friends up the road. Visit them for all of your soccer gear needs. Good dudes. All right, we talked about Manchester United. We talked about Tottenham finishing 17th and 15th. But they played this past week, Wednesday, at the Athletic Bilbao Stadium in the Europa League final. This is one of those games. It was very similar, to be honest, in my opinion, very similar to the Crystal Palace versus Manchester City FA Cup game. Manchester United, in my opinion, dominated this game. I mean, the amount of shots they had, the possession they had, they just looked like the ball was going to somehow go into the net for them, and they were going to win 1 or 2-0. And the game just kept going along and going along and going along, and you're like, what the hell's going on here? How is the ball not gotten in the net? And then, Brennan Johnson pops up there with the ball crossed in, and a little bit of an own goal off Luke Shaw, and Onana kind of fumbles and into the back of net. A very unlucky goal, I will say, for Manchester United to let in. And then Tottenham, as Danny Price called them, spineless. They sat back and said, come at us. Let's see it, bro. Come at us. And Manchester United put all their effort into it, but it wasn't to be. Tottenham Hotspur win the Europa League, and with that, they are entered into the Champions League for next year. I'd love some thoughts on this, by the way, from people. Do you guys watch this game? It was a bad game. It was played frantically, up and down, bad touches, just quickness all over the place. Poor game. It reminded me of the game we're going to talk about next, which was Sheffield United versus Sunderland. But unfortunately for Manchester United, they come out on the wrong end of this. They're going to lose a lot of money because of it. They've already said everybody is up for sale. Nate,
Fire sale.
This is your team.
Yeah.
I'd love your thoughts. I'm trying to be very diplomatic about this, but the facts are Manchester United needed to win this game.
You didn't use a single air quote either.
I didn't. And they did that for you. I didn't use any air quotes for you. But what are your thoughts on the game and the situation the Man United now find themselves in because of those losses?
Stinks at loss. I'm absolutely almost okay with it. And why? It was just like when USA didn't qualify for the World Cup. You got to hit rock bottom.
Yep.
To really underline things need to be fixed and changed. I'm not surprised of the fire sale comment prior. I think that was a foregone conclusion. You're talking about a guy, Ruben Amorim, that when he took over Sporting, basically the same thing happened, and he oversaw 25 departures in his first year.
Wow.
So when they're saying, yep, everyone's has a price tag, don't doubt that they're looking to get rid of everyone. I think they're just going to clean house. Garnacho's gone.
Garnacho wasn't even on the bench today. Yep. That you can clearly see he's been told, go find a new club. We're going to talk about that in a little bit as well.
That has been verbally said to him. Said, you can go find another club now because of his attitude.
You can go play somewhere else.
Yeah, because of his attitude.
Yeah.
And it's his attitude.
Yep.
And he'll probably go somewhere and do real well, and everyone will go, I can't believe you got rid of him. But the fact is, when you have a crap attitude,
it affects the entire team.
Right.
You become a cancer, essentially.
Right.
And I do not blame. I actually really like that Ruben Amorim, one of the first things he did when he got to your club was Rashford and Garnacho, I'm sorry, you're not in this week's game because you did not perform in training. Take a seat. Don't come to the stadium this Saturday. I love the fact that he did that.
Yep.
Now, we saw that Rashford went out on loan to Aston Villa, obviously. I don't know the situation there. Garnacho got back into the squad, played several games, and did fairly well, which means from us fans, we go, okay, clearly you went back to the training ground, you put some effort in, you got back into the squad. But clearly there was something else going on there, and the coach just doesn't appreciate him or his attitude.
it's his attitude. And apparently his family's attitude, too.
Yes, because his brother came out and started spouting stuff as
Combination of both of them. So he's just like, okay.
Not a good look.
Cow.
Not a good
Well,
look.
there was also, I think, rumored early on that there was leakage of starting lineups under Erik Ten Hag, and they said that was possibly, if you go back to that, Garnacho giving it to his brother, who is then leaking it anonymously online. So,
Burner account.
I guess, bye. You know what I mean? Onana, I guess, is also out the door. Bye. Good with that. A funny thing about Onana, United has been in, they said, the last however years, 6 European finals, and they lost 5, all but 1. 5 of 6 they lost. That one they won, Onana was in the net against that they were.
They won.
Yeah, the opposition.
They won with him in that.
With
He was on the opposition.
He's on the opposition team. Yeah.
Do you want?
Oh, Ajax. Was it Ajax?
Yeah.
Do you want to keep him?
No.
Okay. Just making sure.
No, I don't.
I think you can do better.
Honestly, I look at this team and I just kind of go, y'all can go.
Okay.
Who's the one person you would keep?
Yeah, give
Harry
me-
Maguire.
Okay.
I like it. I
Why?
like it.
Why are you laughing?
I like it, honestly.
because-
he's the one that gives a damn.
Yep.
He's the only one. You see him yelling at people, making
He
faces
almost
at
got in
people.
a fist fight at the end of the game because a Tottenham player was cutting. I can't remember which one.
Yep.
Was cutting through and
Romero.
was
Video
yeah,
Romero.
yep. And he got in a physical altercation with him because he gives a shit.
Yep.
It's not even about talent or being good or whatever.
He
It's
wants to be there.
you give a shit.
I laugh because that's not the player I thought you were going to say.
Who?
But I 100% agree with you. I thought you were going to
who'd
give
you
me
gonna
a Bruno or
No.
a Dallo.
They're
or
saying
something
they're
like
saying Dallo would keep because he's young and he's talented. So I got two players, Maguire and Dallo. And then that's
that. And then we're going to take down
and I'm done.
Yeah.
And no, I'd keep Haven and some of these younger guys that they got in that
Manu?
really. What?
Manu.
No, he can go.
Okay. Yeah,
Oh,
my buddy
his-
VX Gunner says Manu and Diallo.
No, Manu can go.
I honestly disagree with him there, Brooks. I'm
Mhm.
going to agree with Nate because his attitude and the amount of money he
wants, like,
thinks he's
Yeah,
worth.
he wants 350,000 a week or whatever.
How
Go
many
ahead, go get it.
how many good games in the last 2 years has he had? In 2 years, how many good games has he had? I will say maybe 10 to 12.
It's Rashford 2.0.
Bingo, bingo.
Rashford 2.0. He's gonna go on. He's gonna be one of the highest paid players for United that barely does anything.
Yep.
Nope. See ya.
later.
Saudis want Bruno Fernandes for a high salary. Come get him.
Bye.
Come
Yep,
get him.
money.
Yeah, apparently they're preparing one of the largest bid ever of the Premier League. I could use that. It'll go buy players who actually give a crap.
Yep.
So I want a bunch of Eastern European Slavic players who are just angry and care.
Yes.
And a bunch of League Two championship guys.
I-
That's how I'm filling my roster. That's what I want. I want dudes from
Italian?
I want some Ukrainians who had to fight their way to actually get the interview,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we'll get some of those guys and some League Two guys
Okay.
who come from the worst side of England you can imagine. That are just fighting to get out. I'm building my squad on
I
that.
like it. I like
Yeah,
it. I
that's
like
all
it.
it is.
Absolutely love it.
Those,
And sprinkle in 2 or 3 some African players somewhere that
Nigerian or something.
that had to
Alright.
flee.
A Nigerian player from
They had to
Nigeria.
flee.
Yeah.
No, not Nigeria, because I don't know if they have any altercations going on. Somewhere where there's an altercation where they have to.
Oh yeah.
I want
love
someone
it.
fleeing.
I love it.
Has it gotten that bad where you would take a Canadian on Manchester United?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
Okay.
No.
I had to check in.
It's not quite that bad.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not taking
No.
Canadians.
Yeah. Take your Tim Hortons elsewhere.
Well, or Americans for that matter, because you know what? They're sorry. Okay. Hey, listen. I clearly gave you what I'm looking for in a player. How does Canada and America fit into any of that? Mexico, I could get me a Mexican player.
Okay.
Hey,
Someone from Guadalajara, where it's
hey, Panama, they fight.
I'm thinking Guadalajara, where it's just or Juarez. No, Juarez is dangerous.
Yeah.
Give me a Juarez E.
Club America.
I don't know what they're called. What the term Juarez? Give me a Juarez citizen, please. One that's I had to run and dodge bullets
While juggling a soccer ball.
while juggling a soccer ball. I learned my trait through not getting shot by the cartels. But that's what this team kind of needs. I'm saying it in joke, but they need players who are gritty, who
and
care.
and put up a fight for the shirt and the fans who paid money to watch them.
And I don't
Yep.
there's most of those guys don't. So kind of over it.
Agreed.
It's
Agreed.
see ya. So we'll see. Hey, we got a new player though.
Who's that?
That Wolves guy, that Kuna.
Yeah.
That's official.
I'm really surprised he agreed and signed before he even knew that they were going to be out of the Champions League, before the Champions League deciding game.
Believes in the
Europa.
project, man.
Jeez.
Believes in the project.
All right. Am I the only one who hates the word project when it
You
comes
love
to
it.
football?
You had a project.
Football?
You have a
Project?
Yeah.
Project is
It's
a
you have a
goddamn
project.
team.
Villa had a
Team.
project.
Oh, I don't use
Still
the word-
has it. You still have a project.
What do you call it if it's not a project?
What
It's
is
not a fucking project. We're building a team here. We're building a
Language,
team to
mister.
compete.
Language?
Sorry.
Wow.
We're building an
I swore
effing
to.
team.
Wow, he hasn't sworn tonight. It's been both
I
of
haven't
us.
sworn in months.
I know.
I hate the phrase "I believe in the project."
Why aren't you using quotes though?
The project.
There it is. From Sky Sports.
All right, we're going to move on here, fellas. All right, so back in the Premiership, Leeds, Burnley, and for the first time back in a long time, Sunderland.
Woo!
Are they going to bring back the Netflix documentary? I missed the Netflix documentary.
Did you watch? There's a third season they made.
Yeah, it was like 4 episodes.
No, I bet they'll bring it back.
It was like way too short. I love that documentary.
Yeah.
Where is my Sunderland Till I Die
It
documentary?
was almost the first documentary out there that everybody got on board with and goes, we want to recreate. That's how, by the way, Welcome to Wrexham was created.
I know. I saw that episode where
Because Rob went home and streamed in like 24 hours.
He loves Sunderland.
The entire thing, and that's where, born out of that idea, came him buying Wrexham. Welcome.
I love that documentary.
Agreed.
Why can't I get that documentary again? Where is my documentary?
They've got to make a new one.
Yeah.
I'm in the. By the
Can
way,
we start with Man United?
By the way, they are the odds-on favorite to be relegated out of the Premiership next year. Because
Why do you got to be mean?
I'm just stating the
Well,
facts.
you know, if they get some of that Netflix documentary money, maybe they can buy some players and stay afloat. Hey, we got tons of them at United. What do you want? You want a striker? You want a forward? You want a midfielder? We got players on top of players. Premiership ready, baby. Selling them a cut rate. Let's go.
Can we do like an auction, like a player auction?
You're gonna have
Just like
Ruben
a guy.
Amarin up there with the gavel doing like
Sold.
Got a rasher here, got a rasher here, got a rasher there, got a rasher there, got a sold. Henry here, Henry, sold.
No one's gonna buy Onana. No one's buying Onana. You're getting him.
Someone will take him.
Here's all right. So Sunderland, congratulations, back in to the Premiership. You beat Sheffield United. We're going to talk about the game for a couple of minutes here, and then we're going to talk about some of the specifics about what entails now coming into the Premiership. Okay, so they beat Sheffield United 2-1 yesterday. Sheffield United went up 1-0, and then Sunderland decided, okay, second half, let's play, let's do this, and they really started to come out of their shell and play. And it took to the 91st minute for them to score the winning goal. I think everybody was prepared at that point for extra time. Everybody's saying, here's 30 minutes coming. This is a deadlock game at 1-1.
No. It was before the 91st minute they scored the first goal.
Oh, no. Yes. No, I misspoke. The winning goal was in the 91st.
The winning goal, yes, was in the 91st.
Everybody's preparing. It was 1-1 at that point. Everybody's prepared for the extra 30 minutes. And the young kid, Watson, pops up. And he rolls the ball from outside the box, around a defender, into the far corner. An absolutely beautiful goal. A beautiful goal from this young kid. 91st minute to seal the victory, to send his club, his hometown club, back to the Premiership. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. The game was championship, EPL championship quality. It was lacking in a little bit of quality. You were just watching this game going, whoever wins this game is going to struggle in the Premiership next year. Are they going to be able to compete with those big boy clubs? Are they going to be able to stick around? Sunderland, welcome back to the Premiership. Almost £200 million is what you were going to earn from that game. This is the richest game in football. This is worth more than winning the World Cup. Just an FYI. Yeah, Brooks.
So for me, can we start with Sunderland and going up and how we see them going?
Let's hold on the predictions of where we see them, how they're doing.
No, I'm going to talk about the transition. We're going to talk about the transition.
Go for it, I guess, sure.
So for me, Sunderland's in a very good spot because if that team, which was correct from what the announcers told me, was an average age of 23,
yes,
you have a lot of different options to keep certain players, to sell them for money, and then the money you get for going up. So you have much more to play with than you have an older roster where you have to might have to get rid of a lot of guys and find new guys to come in.
I'm gonna nail you down and say, are they gonna stick around the Premiership? Or are they gonna be relegated next year?
I think they can stick around with the young players they have. I think they will just finish above relegation.
I would say whatever money you want to put down on it, I will bet that they get relegated. You name the price, I will bet it. You know what, Brooks? I'll bet $1,000 they get relegated. I'll give you $1,000 if they.
How about I give you 1,000 beers?
I'm gonna give you $1,000 if they don't get relegated.
Yeah.
But if they do get relegated, you have to give me $500.
Can we just do like $10?
Yes, do $10. All right. So here's a part of the problem, though, Brooks. Their two best players, Watson, the kid who scored the goal.
He's gone. I know that.
He's
the
gone.
19-year-old, yes.
He's gone to Brighton. Job Bellingham.
Is he gone?
He gone. He wants to head off to the Bundesliga.
Hey, but you get some money for him, and then you can use that money to buy.
He wants to go
guys
to
in.
Leipzig, Borussia Dortmund,
Don't go to
or
Leipzig.
Eintracht Frankfurt.
He needs
Go
to
to
go.
Dortmund.
Go
Yeah.
to Dortmund.
Go to Dortmund.
Yeah.
Why would you go to Dortmund? Because they develop young players.
Because we're in the Champions League.
And his brother was there.
Nico
And
Kovac
was there.
Nico Kovac is one of the most winning German coaches right now.
So he gone. So two of your best young players are gone. They are heading out as you head into the Premiership. And I was getting really excited to see a Bellingham play in the Premiership, but it will not happen. But Sunderland, odds-on favorite to be relegated. Now, the other two teams that came up, Burnley and Leeds, also favorites to be relegated. All three looking to go back down. What happened this year to the teams who were promoted to the Premiership? Relegated. All three relegated. You know what happened the year before? 3 relegated. 3 up, 3 down.
Doesn't mean this trend continues.
You're more than likely, over the last 6 years, I think there's a couple of clubs that have stuck around. Now, the clubs that have stuck around, over the last 8 years, the clubs that have stuck around are your clubs like Aston Villa, Fulham, who was the other one? There was another really big club because owners.
Nottingham Forest
Nottingham Forest. There's
and
another one, too.
Bournemouth.
Pumped money into the club. Absolutely pumped money into the club and bought players and are willing to take a big loss in that first year to stick around. I don't see any of those clubs really doing the same. So, but I am happy to see Sunderland back. Now, you know what we also have? Brooks, I don't know if you know what the Tyneside Derby is. Do you know what that is?
It's Sunderland and which one is it?
They were black.
Newcastle.
Yeah, you got it. They were
Yes.
black and white. Yep. The Tyneside Derby is a really big derby, and the fans freaking hate each other, so that's really fun to watch. So I'm happy to see that derby come back. The way that Newcastle have been playing, you got to play, but you would expect them to take both matches with Sunderland being new to the Premiership and a super young squad. Average age 23, as you said, Brooks, incredibly young. They were the youngest team, average age team, in the EFL Championship this year.
Yep.
Incredible.
That tells me a lot about where the club's going. That's why I think they can stay up.
Yeah, I think they'll be able to stay up too. All right, let's jump in.
Hey, Dan, you just said they'll be relegated.
No, I'm sorry, what did I just say? They could stay up? No,
Yeah.
I think it gives them a shot with how young they
Oh,
are.
okay.
I think they'll be relegated, but I think it gives them a shot because of how young they are. But here's the thing. You need some of that experience in the Premiership, and they don't have any real players, so they're going to have to go out. Hey,
You got to grow sometimes. The faster you can grow and learn.
2 hours south of you is a club who is having a fire sale of Premiership players.
We got players. What do you want?
Sunderland, we got players.
What do you want?
Who do you want?
What do you want?
Yeah, Ruben Abraham with a gavel, as you said.
I'd probably ask you to keep DeLitt too.
Sure.
Yeah.
He just got injured.
Yeah, he was injured today. All right, we're jumping in. Let's talk about Serie A. And Napoli winning the Serie A. Player of the Year, Scott McTominay, popping up with a phenomenal goal.
Great, Scott.
Steal the game away the other day and steal the championship. Well done. Napoli have now won 2 out of the last 3 Serie A championships. Well done to them. I didn't watch the entire game, I'll be very honest, but what I did see was actually really enjoyable. They are building a squad, and there's a rumor. It's not a rumor. Their owner have come out and said it. They came out and said it. Said, we've made a proposal
De
to Kevin De Bruyne. They're offering him 27 million euros over the next 3 years.
There are also photos of De Bruyne's wife in Napoli looking for a home.
Yeah. He going there. He did play his last game in Manchester City today. He got the royal send-off, and everybody, clapped him out and congratulated him. But he is heading to Napoli. I think Napoli can win another one. I think they win 3 out of 4.
Possibly.
Yeah, they're good.
I just laughed because all the Fire fans were like, he's coming to Chicago. And like, nope.
No dice.
No dice.
Hey, speaking of transfers, I think United should go all in on that McTominay kid.
Hey, you think he would do okay there? Do you think he wants to go to Manchester?
I mean, I don't know, he's Scottish. Serie A's got to be too warm for him.
Yeah, agreed.
Too hot.
Too hot there.
Too hot.
Agreed.
Too Italian.
It's too Italian in Napoli. Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to talk U.S. men's national team roster and Gold Cup games. We got a couple of things to get to. Nate's going to tell us about the DFB Pokal.
Only real German trophy because the other one's a plate.
The other one's a plate. He's going to tell us about that. We got a couple of other news and rumors to get to. We got a lot of things to talk about before we head on out for the night. So stick around. We'll be right back.
I'm Craig Hearn. Today, I'm here with the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood. He's going to show me some simple exercises and stretches to do before my soccer games. Because to be honest, I'm getting a little older and I need to be better prepared for these games. All right, he's got some stuff he's going to show us. Let's jump in.
What's up, guys? Dr. Zach here with Craig. We're going through a dynamic warm-up here. Super important, especially in this age group as we get older. A lot of guys that I see, they go right from their car and straight to the field without any warm-up. We want to make sure that we're getting the body warm, we're getting loose, we get the heart rate up so that we can help reduce injuries. All right, guys, so I've got Craig currently doing some grass sweeps. He's doing a Frankenstein stretch, and he's also going through some pogos right now. Whoa, Craig, what the hell?
Yep. Sorry, Doc. All this newfangled dynamic warm-up, this and that. What was wrong with my old warm-up? Oh, yeah, the doc was right. Definitely need the new warm-up. Oh, good Lord. Here we go. All right, thank you to the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood. Listen, guys, if you've been injured, call the football doc. He works miracles. He'll get you back on the field. Trust me, good dude, great soccer player, great doctor as well. All right, a couple of other things to get to here. We talked about Sunderland returning. We talked about Napoli winning the Serie A. The Champions League is coming up, by the way. That's next Saturday, May 31st at 3 p.m. Inter Milan versus PSG. I did a little snooping today, and I went through some betting slips or betting sites. And do you know Inter Milan are the favorites to win this game?
I would put them in favor. Yeah.
You would put both of you would put Inter Milan as the favorites?
Yeah.
They didn't win their league.
Yeah, but it's PSG.
Yeah. Oh, man, they can fly. Look who they beat. They beat Liverpool to get there.
The momentum is with Inter Milan.
Okay. All right.
Everyone wants Milan to win. No one wants PSG to win. The momentum is with
PSG is plus 125 at the moment. Who's winning, boys? Pick me a winner. Who's winning next Saturday? You think it's Inter Milan?
I gotta go with Inter Milan. I just can't back PSG.
Yeah.
Okay, because you don't want to, or
yes.
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Brooks, you going Inter Milan as well?
Yeah, Inter Milan 2-1.
All right, I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going to go PSG. We'll see what happens. It's going to be a great game. 3 o'clock on Saturday the 31st. Let us know in the comments who you think is going to win that game. I think Dembele comes out firing. I think he comes out and puts the ball in the net. And I think that forces Inter Milan to come out and play soccer instead of sitting back. I think PSG are going to run and gun and win this game. All right, moving on. We're going to do a little Bundesliga chat time. The Bundesliga finished, but there was a big game. Nate, who played in the game this weekend?
Oh, a little known club that's close to your heart.
Mm.
Where all of football goes through.
Mm.
Where everything somehow related in the world's game comes out of Stuttgart.
Ooh.
It was, well, hold on. It's the bonus. The Bundesliga chat time. It's a bonus. It's a Bundesliga chat time. It's a Bundesliga chat time with Craig and Brooks.
Get away.
Hey. League is over. The relegation game is still underway with Elfsborg versus Heidelheim, which was ended 2-2, even though that Elfsborg went up 2-0, and then Heidenheim came back. So that game tomorrow will be exciting because it's essentially tied.
Played on a Monday.
Played on
Second
a
leg
Monday,
played on a Monday.
which is weird. It's
Tomorrow?
probably played on a Sunday.
Yeah, they don't really like that type of thing.
No, they don't.
Germany
So I don't know why I got kicked out. Someone smarter than me probably knows, but I think in years past it's always been on Sunday.
I'd say, yeah.
So
Anyway,
that's neither here nor there. Yeah, whatever. Stuttgart playing newly promoted into Division II Bitterfeld in the Olympic Stadium in Berlin.
I like that stadium, by the way.
Oh, it's a beautiful stadium.
It is.
That's where all the finals are played. If you watched, both supporters, heck of a job on their tifos. My. Both supporters You could feel the energy from both teams. They did great jobs, both of them, on huge tifos and blue and white waving on one end, red and white waving on the other.
Cool.
And it's just what you want to see in a game like that that's being nationally televised, that level of support and fandom, because that's what this league's all about. So I think both teams absolutely represented the league as a whole admirably and spectacularly, if you ask me. And of course, my team won triumphantly, so it was a great game. It was everything you wanted in a game. I will say Bielefeld had one goal-scoring opportunity right in the beginning, or actually maybe two, that I was just like, oh, where I was just like, oh, God. They came to the game. The coach, in quotes, said, we're not really worried about Bundesliga teams. They all play the same. So they came ready to play. They felt they had them mapped out, and really in the beginning kind of looked like it. I think those two narrow chances made Stuttgart step up a bit, because that's when then they started putting in goals. And it wasn't until the third goal that went in, then I was like, we got this. The first one went in, I'm still like, even though you're dominating, again, those two narrow chances were really good. Then the second one, I'm like, still could come back. I know it's just minutes parts. When Undavi buried the third one, I was just like, yeah, we're good here.
Champions.
We're good here. There's no coming back from that. Although Bielefeld did start coming back at the end, they really started pressing. Two goals.
They made it a game. 4-2 final, right?
I think but I think also Stuttgart pulled out about 5 subs, so half their team, to get other players in so they can experience. All the players you'd hope that you'd want to step up, stepped up. Undavi had a career game, played great. Milot had a career game, played great. Stellar showed why Real Madrid might be actually going after that midfielder. So we'll see. What this will be an interesting time for Stuttgart heading into the Europa, which is, I think, a better fit for them. And I'm glad they're there over the Champions League, to be honest with you, because they can actually make a run at it. But we'll see who they can retain and keep, because usually when you do what you did, and you got some actually 3 or 4 German internationals that are on your team, usually the other big clubs start coming. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, Nate, congratulations.
Yeah.
Man. That's a nice trophy for the club
First
to win.
trophy in, I want to say, 15 years, 14 years, somewhere like that.
Very nice. Congratulations.
And
well done.
fourth
makes the
cup
season
overall.
makes the season with a nice ending, right?
It
ending for it.
puts an exclamation. They finished 9th, which is okay, fine, but finishing with a trophy, first one in a long time, and then qualifying for Europa on that, that was your season right there.
Well done. All right, moving on. We're going to do a little bit of U.S. men's national team talk. They released the 27-man roster this past week for friendlies against Turkey and Switzerland as they come up. That June 7th game against Turkey is in East Hartford, Connecticut. And Switzerland's game is June 10th in Nashville. All right, we're going to talk about the roster here as I throw that onto the side of the screen. Brooks, we all took part in a little
prediction
project. Is that what you want to call this? You want to put the word project in there? We all did a little predictions on this. You want to tell us who won that?
Craig did. Yes.
Did I get a prize?
Yeah.
You get a sticker.
Yeah, gold star.
I'll take that.
Technically we did it for the Gold Cup, and I totally forgot that there's a June camp and they have these 2 friendlies, but I can't imagine that the majority of these players, I could see 1 or 2 flips or there's an injury.
Yep.
But I cannot imagine that other guys will be, we just want to these 2 friendlies and there's the goal. Like, I imagine this is the team that's set, barring if some guys have an injury or have to leave for certain.
So let's go through it. Let's go through the training camp roster that's set here. Mauricio Pochettino and his staff have brought in these players. Goalkeepers, Matt Freese, Patrick Schulte, Zach Steven, and Matt Turner. Where are you at with this, Brooks? That's the 4 goalkeepers I thought that were going to be there.
Again, I don't care for Schulte. I think he just has a good back line in front of him, and he plays with a good side. I felt like Chris Brady got robbed again. A guy that's had a tremendous start to his MLS season, a Chicago Fire line that's been pretty much average to horrific for most of the games, and he's pretty much helped them to where they are on the table now. I like the Matt Freese one. Matt Freese was a backup at the Union to Andre Blake for a very long time. Went to Harvard for a year or two. Union Academy kid, and was getting playing time. And went over to NYCFC, had to fight for that job. Stole it from Luis Barraza, and he's been playing well. Zach Steffen, well-deserved. Should be in there. He's helped with Colorado and where they're at in the table. The Matt Turner one, I think, is just an obvious one. Whether we all like it because how he's played in the last couple games for the national team, but he has experience. He's been there. So
these are the two friendlies as we talked about for this, June 7th and June 10th against Turkey and Switzerland. But then the first Gold Cup game is June 15th against Trinidad and Tobago. Brooks, I'm going to put you on the spot. Goalkeepers, pick one that's starting that Gold Cup game for the USA. Gotta pick one.
Zach Steffen.
Zach Steffen. All right, really?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna pick Turner. I don't know why. I just think he will work his way in there and he will do that. All right, defenders: Max Arfstein, Serginho Dest. He's finally back and looks like he's healthy and playing well. Alexander Freeman, Dwan Jones, our friend of We Are Soccer, Michigan State alum Dwan Jones, Mark McKenzie, Tim Ream, Chris Richards, FA Cup winner Chris Richards. Congratulations, Chris Richards. Miles Robinson. That rounds out the defenders. Anything that stands out for you there with those defenders, Brooks?
Arfson was an interesting one. I thought he was pretty mediocre in Nations League, to be honest with you. I mean, he's a starter for the Crew. I thought there were better options. I think Tolkien would have been a better option, in my opinion. There were a couple other guys I think I had that were better. Obviously, Jedi Robinson pulled out, so he wouldn't be an option. But I would have rather take Tolkien, who's had experience and been in there. Good to see Dust back. Question is, does he start right away, or does he have to work his way back in after all the shenanigans he's pulled? Alex Freeman is a very good one. This is a young and upcoming guy. He is the son of former Green Bay Packers wide receiver Antonio Freeman.
Interesting.
So a good athlete, gets forward, started a lot for Orlando City, has been a name that's come up through the Orlando City Academy and in the U.S. Youth National Teams. Mark McKenzie, not a bad one. I'm interested to see how Dewan does. Same with Chris Richards. Tim Ream's just kind of steady Eddie. I mean, to be fair, he has been the steady one, but we obviously, the three of us, feel that it's time to move on for him at some point, which is correct. And then I like Miles Robinson coming back in. He's been done well for FC Cincinnati. He can definitely put up a fight with Chris Richards. He was going to start there, so it's a solid one. The 2 I'm not crazy about are Ream and Arfston that got in there.
Understood. I like the Richards is in there. I like the Miles Robinson is in there. I don't like the Tim Ream is in there. Out with the old, in with the new. Let's try someone new here, please. Anyway, moving on. Here are your midfielders. Tyler Adams played really well for Bournemouth his last several months, and I think very well deserved. I think he's back to full fitness. Let's see him again do it here. Sebastian Berhalter. We have a Berhalter back with U.S. men's national team. He's been playing well in the MLS. Johnny Cardoso, Luca de Torre, Diego Luna. We know he's a favorite of Pochettino. Jack McGlynn, Malik Tillman, and Sean Zawadzki. I don't know much about him. I'll be very honest.
Played at Georgetown.
What stands out? I like Tyler Adams. I like that Berhalter's been brought in, by the way. He's been playing well, and I like that Pochettino and the staff is showing that they're willing to bring people like that in. Diego Luna is a favorite of mine. I love the way he plays the game. What stands out for you here, Brooks?
I don't care for Luca de la Torre. I don't know why. It was like the last 2 he wasn't in. He makes the move to MLS. Cardoso's been linked with Tottenham and a billion other clubs. Atletico Madrid, the next one. I don't think he's going to move it. I don't think he'll go anywhere. I think he's pretty bang on average. He's just one of those Americans. Rumors go around and spread. Adams is a good one. I like Berhalter. He offers something a lot different. He's been doing extremely well for Vancouver, being a box-to-box midfielder.
Scoring some goals, too.
Particularly one that can score goals. And that's what, in my opinion, the team lacks is... Diego Luna was one, but Jack McGlynn usually sits deeper. Malik Tillman's probably an inverted winger 10, but he's done well, extremely well for PSV, so I'm extremely interested to see how he does in this Gold Cup. Zawadzki is going to be more of your defensive mid. He can play center back. He can play in multiple different positions, but he's going to hold. So Berhalter gives you something more going forward into the box. which is what the U.S. men's national team, I think, need because they have too many similar guys in certain positions. So ones to watch out for me, Berhalter. And then I'm excited to see Tillman, Luna, and then also Jack McGlynn.
Cool. All right, forwards coming in for the U.S. men's national team. Again, they have 2 friendlies, and then they start their Gold Cup campaign June 15th against Trinidad and Tobago. Here are your forwards: Brendan Aronson, Patrick
Ajiman.
I always say his name wrong. Ajiman. I always say that wrong. I don't know why. Florin Balogun back in the squad. Damian Downs, Quinn Sullivan, Brian White, and Haji Wright back in. Not quite the goal-scoring prowess that we're used to seeing from the forward line, in my opinion, for the U.S. team. I'm not a huge fan of the forwards here, but your thoughts, Mr. Brooks?
Well, I mean, obviously you had Weah, Sargent, Pulisic, not coming. So there's 3 right off the bat, where you would have dropped 3 of them and maybe.
Explain to the viewers why a couple of those players aren't coming. The club's not releasing them. There's a FIFA Club World Cup that's going on. A couple of them are there. Maybe injuries. Is this just something the players feel like it's coming to the end of the season and need a little bit of break before they jump back in?
Well, can I just finish the forwards and then we can move to that? Is that okay?
Yeah, I mean, that's the majority of why the guys aren't there.
That's the majority reason why. So Aronson's an interesting one. He's done well for Leeds. I'm curious to see if they play him more as a 10 or a midfielder, or if they play him wide as a winger. Ajiman has scored some goals for Charlotte. He's a big target. I like Vasquez better. I think he offers more.
Agreed.
In my opinion. I think Ajiman's just kind of an average hold-up center forward that's big and physical. Yes, he scored a couple big goals. I don't think he offers much different. I like Brian White and Balogun much better than him with their creativity and movement off the ball. I think they give better options there if we're going to get wide and whipping crosses. Quinn Sullivan is a wide player, but he can play in the midfield. He's done well. He scored a great goal against Inter Miami last night. I think it's an opportunity for Quinn. There's been rumors he's going to go overseas to Germany or Austria or a couple of those leagues over there. He's been rumored. Damian Downs is an interesting one. Nate's a big one, FC Augsburg guy. I think that's one that we want to see a young guy in the mix to see what he can do at 20 years old. I think that's important. Haji Wright's been scoring goals, so I get it for Coventry City. I guess the question is does Balogun want to take back because he was injured for a while. He scored some goals at the end there for, was it Monaco he plays for, I believe?
Correct.
So we'll see what happens there. I think Brian White, in my opinion, is the best center forward in form right now. Maybe next to Haji Wright, but Brian White offers something different, I think.
And as we said, a bunch of players not in the squad here due to various reasons, FIFA Club World Cup, injuries, or clubs not releasing them for various reasons.
Yeah, some just want to rest. And let's move on to that. So let's open this to all of us here. What do you guys think? Do you like... Obviously, the Club World Cup, it is what it is, right? Juventus want to win. McKennie and Weah are there. They want to win it. They want extra money to go buy players, because as you advance, you get more money. Reina is going to play with Dortmund, so they're going to bring their squad. What do we think about Sargent, Jedi Robinson, Pulisic, want to take a rest? Do we like it or no?
I mean, listen, they've all had long, arduous seasons, and the amount of games that players play these days, I can understand that. But it's also an honor to get called up and put on the national team shirt. So I'm a little conflicted because let's just say if any players from my club got called up, when they do get called up, I say, hey, please decline it. I want you playing for my club. I don't want you playing for whatever nation you belong to. But it is an honor to do that, so to get called up and put on the shirt and play. I don't know. I really don't know. I can see both sides of it. I'm okay with them missing. I would like to see them in the pitch. Call me selfish. I'd love to see them playing because those are some of the best players we have. But I can understand why they would like to miss.
Well, I still think they're all going to be called in as soon as they go to the group stage, or out of the group stage.
Out of the group stage.
Because you can reconfigure your lineup, your players, and I think they're just getting a temporary reprieve or temporary break. And I think
probably
easily see 4 or 5 of those guys all in as soon as they get to where it counts, which is the knockout.
So the rule is that 60-player roster, you can only call players in from that 60-man roster, and none of them are listed.
Oh, they weren't even listed?
Was.
No.
Oh.
Maybe he is. He might be, and he might. So he's the one, but I know McKennie and Weah were not listed on there.
That's because they're doing FIFA Club.
And right now.
Yeah.
But I think Pulisic is, and so that could be a possibility.
Right. So
And, yeah. Mhm.
those guys weren't allowed to join because of the FIFA World Cup.
Well, the club
Club
said
World
no.
Cup.
Club said no,
Yes.
so they just left him off the 60-man roster.
So
Yep.
whose fault's that?
Oh, yeah, that's not on the players. That's on the club. That's on
Right.
the club,
That's on the-
100%.
No,
And-
it's not even on the club. It's on FIFA.
Well, I mean, it's the club to release them. The club have games, so it's on them. The club always have to release players.
They don't have to release anyone. And if they're going into a tournament like that, they want everyone they could possibly have.
I think you misunderstood what I was saying.
Oh, sorry.
The club have the they have to they are the
Right.
ones that release a player. So if Pulisic gets called in, AC Milan say yes, you are allowed to go play, or no, you're not because we have this, or you're injured and we are afraid you may not play. So we are not releasing you. So it's the club who allows it, but it's a FIFA thing, and it's FIFA's money grab with a FIFA Club World Cup, right?
It's FIFA and Complica, and I get more on FIFA because.
Oh, absolutely.
So what are you gonna do when it's Euros?
These players are going to be dropping like flies, man, with injuries.
You know, and that's they all. The only thing that's happened is they fast tracked the issue that's going to happen in a few years with when it's Euros, and these other clubs won't then release their players because there's a huge prize packet here to win.
Yep, 25 million or something like that in prize money to be handed out.
So this is, I don't blame the players that weren't released. And I think the guys like Pulisic, who was originally part of the 60-man, I think he'll be brought back in.
If possible. He could, for there was a stat in ESPN that Hercules Gomez showed. It was like, combined with his minutes, because he was hurt a little bit this year. He went through injuries at AC Milan.
January-ish, yep.
But combined minutes, he had about 4,000. He compared that with like Lamine Yamal and some of the other. There's 3 other superstars they compared to. I mean, they had between 4,000 and 5,000 minutes played via their club plus the national team stuff they had this year. And Pulisic has a hip injury. I know everyone was like, well, why did he play last game for AC Milan? He's got this hip injury. You know, he's out there for the fans because that's what he's about. Pulisic, he's the American star. He's got to get out in front of there with AC Milan. I'm fine with him just resting with Jedi and Sargent doing it because the next summer is the most important summer, and you want to be healthy. Yeah. And I think with this 27-man roster plus the other players you can choose from in the preliminary 60-man roster, we need to find other guys that can step up and wear the big boy pants when needed.
Well, that's a chance for the staff, Mauricio Pochettino and his staff, to take a look at some of these guys and say, who's our next guy? Who's our next leader? Is there a leader here? We're a year away, fellas.
Crazy.
From the World Cup. We're just over a year away.
Did you hear his comment about the people he brought in?
No, what's
he
that?
He said, we're not here to play golf or visit your families or hang out with your friends. We're here to work and play matches.
Is that a
Pochettino?
Yeah.
That's a great comment.
Jab? Is that a jab at Pulisic because he was playing golf last time he was in camp?
I don't know.
I think that's a jab at Pulisic. That's horrible.
I think it's a comment said to probably a few of those guys.
I think it's a few of them. I mean, he had issues. He had issues with the Nations League. He had issues with players.
Welcome to being a club coach who's jumped into international game and he don't understand what goes on. These guys come away and it's a little time to see their friends and do some, on the downtime, play some golf.
But it's not wrong because a lot of the, you listen to the podcast, the Lawlesses, the Howards, the Donovans, like where is this so-called with Berhalter? We're getting the boys back together and it's all for the national team. And this is Pochettino's like, you want to be here? Be here. It's football focused. And Michael Bradley was always focused there. So was Donovan. So was Howard. They talk about it all the time. You're there to play football and play for your country. Take your vacation time and do it some other time.
There is downtime though, right? Like there is some downtime when you are in a camp for a week. There's a day off, right?
There is. And I get it. You want to go do that? That's fine. But I think Pochettino's saying, you better be all in here. Because we got to do well with this World Cup being here in America next year, and all the national team veterans feel that way. The men's national team guys do, and they know they will get ripped to shreds if they do not advance in a certain far enough in the World Cup
I
next year.
think Pochettino knows that, right? He
Yeah.
knows they got to advance and get to a good stage of the World Cup. All right, a couple of other things to get to here before we dip out, but one of the ones we want to get to is the MLS, talking about the U.S. men's national team. Some of these guys are on MLS rosters. Why don't we quickly show the MLS table here as it continues along. So here is your Eastern Conference table. Philadelphia leading the way on 30 points. Down at the bottom, you've got Montreal, Atlanta, and Toronto. Nate, your Cincinnati is in second place with a game in hand, 1 point behind Philadelphia. We're there.
Still in second.
Yeah.
No more game in hand.
Oh, sorry. Did I?
Yeah, we lost to Atlanta.
I took this
a few hours
a
ago.
little too early. Sorry. But listen,
I think the game was going on when you probably took
probably.
the shots. So.
But there you go. I mean, hey, they're moving on up. They're playing a little bit better than when they officially started the season. Brooks, any comments on the Eastern Conference?
Chicago dropping back underneath the playoff line. New England finally working their way up the table, which is awesome. DC United, Toronto, and Montreal are in trouble. Particularly Toronto's a head scratcher because they have a lot of money. They spend a lot of money. They have Insigne, Bernardeschi, and a lot of other good players. So it's crazy while they're struggling, even though Robin Fraser's in his first year. DC United and Montreal are just, and then Atlanta probably is a head scratcher too with the guys they've acquired. So, but kudos to Miami in seventh place. That's an interesting one as well. They just drew with Philadelphia Union last night. So that is an interesting one. Nashville in third place too, which is nice to see.
Yeah. All right, now we will see the Western Conference table. Vancouver leading the way. San Diego in second. Minnesota United in third. Down the bottom. Still down the bottom. No wins. LA Galaxy.
Yep.
St. Louis. Olaf Melberg, the new coach for St. Louis, hasn't been having a good time there. And Sporting Kansas City rounding out the bottom three of the Western Conference.
Yes.
It's chugging along. The season's chugging along. Still a long way to go.
Yeah.
Long.
Credit to Vancouver. Still running well.
Yeah.
San Diego doing well. Minnesota. Got the Cascadia teams, Seattle and Portland at 5 and 6, and good old Bruce Arena digging San Jose out of the bottom below the playoff line. They're in 8th place, so that's good to see as well.
Yeah. Anything that sticks out? One thing that sticks out from you on this?
Colorado in 7th place, just with the mixture of players. They have a lot of former college players, a few internationals, academy kids. It's not a sexy team by any means, but Chris Armas can get the job done, and he's done well.
All right, very nice. Okay, well, that's our MLS. That's our MLS roundup for the day. But while we were chatting here, we received. I hear there's a phone call coming in. Someone wants to talk about the MLS.
Ba-ding.
Sir, what's your name and what do you want to talk about?
Hi, my name's Bill Davis from Davison, Michigan.
Oh, hi, Bill. How are you? What do you want to talk about?
Long-time fan, first-time call-in.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right.
I appreciate everything you guys do, especially that Bundesliga. It's great stuff.
Oh yeah, Nate. He just dipped out to the bathroom. I think.
Yeah.
We'll let him know you said that.
Please do.
Yeah.
It's great stuff.
Is that what you called in about? Talk about the Bundesliga?
No.
What is?
I was wondering if there's a question to Brooks.
Oh wow.
Oh.
And a double, and then a second question to you.
Oh.
Mr. Hearn.
Okay. Yeah.
A big fan of the MLS. Always have been.
All right.
Are they going to bring back the running up penalty kick thing? And what would you think if the Premier League adapted it?
Oh, I think it'd be great.
Ooh.
I don't think they're bringing it back, but I would absolutely love it. I would love it. I think it'd be great. Great question from Mr. Bill Davis, by the way. Brooks?
Yeah, so that run-up penalty, I would love if they brought that back, to be honest with you. I mean, we're already a wacky league anyways, so why not? I mean, a lot of the players talk about it. It was fun when they did it, and it adds some entertainment to it at the end, and why not?
I agree. I think they should bring that back 100%. So thank you for the call there, Mr. Bill Davis.
Wait, did you want the Premier League?
Oh, do I?
Yeah, you got to answer a second question.
Do they want, should it be in the Premier League?
Yeah.
The Premier League's not really a wacky league, and they don't like change. But here's the thing. with Sunderland coming up now into the Premier League. There's now 12 American owners. Yeah. So guess what? All-star games and run-up penalty kicks can definitely happen because I can see American owners voting for that.
Is there a majority? Do they vote?
It's the majority. It's
Oh,
the
wow.
majority vote. So it can happen if they vote for it. All-star games are coming to the Premiership and penalty kick run-ups.
All right.
No, you know what? Here's a good thing.
Are we gonna have skills competitions?
No, absolutely. Well, that's at the All-Star game.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Like, and do you invite like La Liga players to come in, or do Americans come in for skills comp? What do you do?
No. This is Premiership All-Star weekend.
Yeah, well, but I mean MLS, you invite like Liga MX. Like,
No. They don't invite
No?
other leagues.
I mean, we're not doing anything in the wintertime, so the Americans fly over to play the Premier League.
Hey, I just got back from the bathroom. What the hell are you guys talking
None of your business. We had a call in. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry.
Bill wanted us to answer some questions.
Who is Bill?
A friend of the show, long time.
Bill
listener,
Gates?
First time.
What
No,
do you-
Bill Davis.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hell?
I thought it was the guy from Microsoft.
No. Yeah, you can.
Is this what happens when I leave for a
Yeah,
minute?
you step
I
out to the
think so.
bathroom and we get phone calls. That's usually what we do when you go to the bathroom.
Do you have anything to say about me or anything?
Nope.
He was a big fan of the Bundesliga.
No, he didn't. He didn't
Yeah,
say
he
that.
did. Oh, he
Getting-
did.
Nope, no, he
Getting
didn't.
conflicting messages here.
No, he didn't say a damn thing about you. Nope.
Oh.
Are you sure?
Yep.
I
Positive.
heard Bundesliga.
Nope.
And Nate's his
What are you
favorite.
talking about? All right, fellas, that's going to wrap us up for the week. We appreciate everybody joining, everybody tuning in. Do us a huge favor. Give us a like, give us a subscription, a follow, a share, whatever you can. We would very, very much appreciate it. Do the same for our partners. For Soccer World, for Aaron Bird and Next Level Training, for the Michigan Jaguars, and for the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood. Big thank you to those partners. We wouldn't be able to do this without you. Oh, and by the way, put this on your calendars. Officially unofficial, June 18th, we are soccer's first ever soccer trivia.
What?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. More news and information on that coming soon.
Wait, hold on. Is it happening at a bar?
It is.
A bar that I normally go to.
You've been.
You've been there.
Gatsby's?
Nope. No,
Good guess.
sir. Dog and Pony Show Brewing is where
Oh,
we'll be heading June 18th. First ever, we are soccer trivia at the bar. We'll be there. Put that on your calendars. For me and the boys here, we'd like to say thank you, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.
Cheers.